Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another KPC Live. Good weekend. Happy weekend, everybody. It is Saturday, June 22nd. Yeah, it's noon right now. And sorry. Oh, did it just start right now? Okay, welcome back to another KPC Live. I never know when YouTube actually starts the live. So this 5 second limbo is always very weird. But happy weekend again. It's June 22nd. It's Saturday noon here. There's a lot of heavy rain coming. Thankfully, I prefer the rain than the heat. So yeah, it's a little bit cooler than usual. But sorry for being a little late because before this, I'm actually doing a back-to-back live stream from the DKDK Patreon. I know I do a lot of stuff. DKDK Patreon, KST. I covered a lot of like recent K-pop news over there. I was just talking about, you know, New Jeans getting sexually harassed in a game, PUBG Mobile, people dressing up them in sexual attire, and then a Chinese kid shitting in Jeju City, and Blackpink Lisa coming back, and Blackpink all going separate ways as Rose finally joined Black Label, and then what else was there? Renjun revealing like a supposed Saseng's phone number, but it turns out to be a normal civilian, so he got a lot of criticism for that. Son Heung-min facing racism from his own teammates, saying that all Koreans look the same. So it was a pretty juicy live stream. Anyways, we are back with KPC Live right now. So speaking of Patreon, if you want to join my Patreon and support me and get exclusive content on KPC, join patreon.com/Korean Pizza Club. I have a new exclusive podcast uploaded for this week, and a lot of topics were there. I talked about a national crisis declaration from the president, and there were so many subjects. So if you look at this was the exclusive podcast over here, national emergency declared on population crisis. So they actually made a department for population. Yeah, that's wild, right? The president actually made a new department for that. And then Seoul declining, but foreigners doubling. 20% of men unable to get married in Korea. Garlic IV shots for overworked Koreans. So there are already 17 episodes of exclusive podcasts, and you can all binge listen to them on Spotify or Patreon. So check Patreon out. And thank you for joining, everybody. Abel, hey, yo, you are in the KST stream. Yeah, I really need to differentiate these live stream names, because like KPC, KST, all that kind of stuff. Hi, David. Hi, everybody. Hi, Lou. Hello, Rain. Hello, Alexandra. Hello, Daisy. Haven't been able to catch live lately. Sup, man? Renato. Yes. Good morning. Ruka? Is that? Yeah. Hi, sup, Dijuma. Hi, Nankumar. Hi, missed that live I was gonna watch. Oh, you can rewatch it always. Yeah, but yeah. So many news, right? So many news. If you need extra entertainment, go check it out. Glad I caught this live. Mina, welcome. The poop story is intriguing. Yes. Tina Bean, hello. Hi, Katie. So first things first, before we get into the actual, stories for today, first things first, I need to do two tasks. I need to do an unboxing, fun unboxing with you guys, and then I need to order lunch because it's almost noon, and since this is a friendly live stream and it's not such a structured, organized live stream like the ones with Anna, I want to get some lunch and munch on stuff while I am streaming. So help me out, ideate what I should eat for today. I'm terribly sorry to the delivery workers, but my ex-girlfriend used to say that don't feel sorry for them and don't not deliver during snowy or rainy weathers, because if everyone thinks like that, they're not making money and they essentially want to make money at the end. Tell me if that is the right logic, or tell me if I shouldn't order anything, because that's just it's hard for the delivery workers, right? I don't know. Munchies, yes. Mind Spasm, hello. Thank you for being a member, and thank you, Trenami Hyung. Uncle Dan for gifting memberships to, I think, 5 people. Of course, pizza. Okay, curry. I think I had curry last time. Nice options. Nice options. So keep those suggestions coming in. Yes, please. Yes, please. And pizza sounds good. Actually, pizza does sound good. Yeah, pizza is always good. Naengmyeon. It's a little bit too cold for that today, and I personally don't like naengmyeon that much because it's just so bland and it doesn't feel full. I had fried chicken today from Mad for Chicken. Oh, Mad for Chicken? What's that place? I've never heard of it. Mad for Garlic, I know. Pizza, duh. Okay, the overwhelming opinion is pizza, so I'll look for pizza options. Yeah, nearby, I guess there's tons of pizza places, but Pizza Hut, Papa John's, Domino's. I might put a poll up. And then there's like the local retail pizza stores, Pizza Volo, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Halal. We don't have a lot of halal food, unfortunately. Okay, while we are deciding the menu, let me get into the exciting unboxing world. So, everybody, first of all, say thank you to Jin, because Jin is over there. And just to give you a fact for the day, he has spent the whole night in the office from yesterday. Like, I think the whole day yesterday and the whole night in the office. And when I came in for the 10 a.m. live stream on DKDK, he was lying on the sofa and he was sleeping over there, and I was like, what the hell are you doing? And you didn't go home? And it was like, yeah, I was so busy uploading the products on Piroso, and then like, yeah, I was preparing for you like to show this on stream, so that we figured out that the what do you call it, the retention rate and the conversion rate of sales drastically increases when I actually physically show the product on screen than just showing the web page and stuff. So yeah, like once we figured it out, he's working very hard to just like be on time, upload the product so that you can actually purchase it. Because like in some of the old streams, I advertised some of the products on stream and then it wasn't on the website, so we missed a lot of valuable chances. But anyways, everybody's thanking Jin. Thank you, Office Cat Jin. Yes. Good job, Jin. Everybody, yes. I'll send over all the love towards him. He's probably listening over there. He's got to go home at some point. But yeah, exciting unboxing. So here is the box. This is a very exciting unboxing because we landed a new partnership with a new brand. So each week we are working very hard to get more and more products on the shelf for Piroso, and it's a very good brand called Wenzi. So Wenzi in Korean means maybe something like that. Actually, I don't even know how to translate Wenji. It's such a Korean term. Wenji in 영어로. What does that even mean? For some reason. Okay, that would be the nice translation. So Wenji means for some reason. So before the unboxing, let me actually show you the home page. So thank you, Jin, for putting this all up. So this is the brand page. If you go to piroso.net, you can go over here. If you subscribe to the newsletter, if you click here and subscribe to the newsletter, we send out very generous coupons every single week. So go subscribe to this for sure. And if you go, we split the traditional shop and modern shop. So if you just click on traditional, you can see what kind of products we've curated here. If you go to bestseller, you can see all the traditional theme stuff, like from the mother of pearl, the humble plates, the what do you call this, the key ring, and the zodiac coasters, the soju glasses, all the traditional theme things here. I just made a short out of this yesterday. A page holder made out of mother of pearl, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is the traditional shop. This is a really cute ring. Anyways, you can look at that, these coasters. And if you go to the modern shop over here, these are modern stuff. And this is like the trendy outfits in Korea. This is never that. The thing I'm wearing right now is the Roka t-shirt. Here we go, the army t-shirt from the Korean army. You can see the Korean army on the back, and a lot A lot of people wear it for fashion, so no worries. It's not cultural appropriation or anything. You can wear it in the gym. You can wear it in America, Europe, wherever you want. But anyways, going back to the unboxing from Wenzi. So very sturdy packaging at first, and then they have like a very eco-friendly packaging. I would say. And then how do you even open this? Like, I am not accustomed to opening this kind of stuff, so I might be struggling for a bit. I might have to call Jin to ask how to open this. Oh, there we go. There you go. Yeah, you just put out the string, you just rotate it like that, and it is almost open. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Oh, okay. Okay, I've never opened a box like this. So here's the box. Ta-da! There you go. Ooh. Oh, wow. Wow, look at the level of craftsmanship here. Oh my god. So we actually met the owner, and she's a really hand master over there. So we have the brand over here. If you can see it, Wenzi. Yeah. 350 milliliter, do not microwave, hand wash only. It's a really sleek cup. And if you look in the box, wow, they have a really nice packaging as well in the behind. If you look at the box, it's in Korean, but you can look at the description on our website. But there's a little description here. You can use Papago to just do that. So below 4 degrees Celsius, you can see the complete appearance of the glass. Yeah, and what that means, I will explain what that means. So this is a special cup. It's a unique cup, okay? Like if you go back to our site, and go to traditional shop, no, actually go to brand over here, and if you go, you can find Wenzi. It's spelled like this because, you know, you guys spell Wednesday weird, right? Wednesday, but Wenzi here. But we got a lot of glasses here, and this is the glass we are selling at the moment. You can buy all of these other products. I will show you. I will unbox them on Monday's live stream. But if you go to this one, what is special about it is that, first of all, it's a Buncheongware Bakji Chohwamun Seon glass. That's very interesting, right? So if you pour in ice cold water, look at this. Look at this GIF. It turns pink. Isn't that crazy? Look at that. Look at that. Look at how the color changes. So it's a color changing cup. I want to demonstrate it, but right now I don't have like any ice or cold stuff. So it's really cool. It would be really greatly paired with our mother of pearl coasters. So yeah, pro tip, if you want to buy this, you can purchase it, and then you will get suggestions of upselling. I don't think you might get the specific recommendations of a coaster, but you can get other products for a discounted price. Anyways, yeah, if you look at this, it's so sleek. Jin did all of this, the rotating stuff. Really, you know, really sophisticated work over here. But yeah, the flower and ceramic Seon glass is not just an ordinary glass, but a piece of art. The glass boasts a unique feature where the color changes and flowers bloom. So it's a flower bloom theme. When cold beverages are poured in, it showcases its best beauty at temperatures below 4 degrees Celsius, reflecting the artistic freedom of Buncheongware. So Buncheongware embodies the creativity and artistry of Joseon-era artisans and is reinterpreted in a modern way in the glass. The square, flat bottle shape and the vibrant and rhythmic floric pattern emphasizes dynamism and movement. Additionally, the red-brown color from the glass base forms an overall atmosphere, and at cold temperatures, hidden vine patterns become vivid. The rim of the glass is luxuriously enhanced with thick gold plating. So yeah, you can see the gold plating over here, right? So really cool glass today. So yeah, and then other than that, we have small other products to. Let me see your responses. Let me see if you're enjoying it. Oh, cool. Okay. Everyone's like, oh, that's beautiful. Cool. That's nice. Thank you, everybody. The gold trim on the cup is very stylish. I would use it for my whiskey. Exactly. The details are pretty. That is cool. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, everybody. And the other thing I have to unbox today, more like unwrap, are these coasters. So we're doubling down on the more affordable products here and the more craft related products. So let me pull them out. So these all are like very traditional kind of patterns. This is what do you call it? A lily. Yeah, you know, lilies have a significant meaning in the Eastern culture, especially because of the influence of Buddhism, right? But this, I would say, you know, like I'm no expert in craft or anything or patterns, but I would say these are very Korean themed, but they have like a very, for some reason, Greek Roman kind of vibe. I don't know what it is, but I'm getting those kind of vibes. I would have seen this in like Hercules or something, like this glass, and like this as well too. So paired on top, it looks like this. And, you know, whenever you have cold, ice cold water or drinks, you know how like it drips down below, and then if your table, it gets stained, and then you get water stains and stuff. So these are very, very cute lily coasters over here, and it's very smooth. Yeah, so they come in like 3 different colors. I think this is a different pattern. 분청사기. So whoa. Yeah, that looks more like Korean kind of pattern. These are all like Korean themed, by the way. But yeah, we got these 3 coasters, so they are very cute, right? Where did the other one go? Oh, it was beneath. So you can get all 3. I think they would make amazing gifts for visiting other people's homes, or just, you know, if you want to gift something special to your friends. So check out these. You can look them up on our website as well. There are other cups, but I will promote them on Monday's stream. But look at this. Look at this great work from Jin. Yes, look at this. Celadon Lotus. Yeah, Lotus. That's the way you say it. Lily, Lotus. Are they the same thing, or maybe I'm mistaken? Yeah, look at these. It's only $12 bucks. It's a bargain, right? So it's water resistant, durable, leather, delicate embroidery, and they are just beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Looks so good, right? So if you want these, check them out. They come in various colors. Check them out. White porcelain lotus. Oh, so it's the color of white porcelain. Ah, 백자. Okay. Buncheongware. We have buncheong again. Let me actually look up what buncheong is. Buncheong. Ah. Oh, so these are... Oh, this is actually a very interesting style of pottery I didn't even know about Korean culture. Oh, this is so interesting. We only know about like the famous Koryo Cheongja, the Koryo Celadons, and the Joseon Baekjas. So the most famous one is like the Joseon Baekja, which is like the very minimalistic. You know, I have a portrait of this in my studio wall as well. This is supposed to bring good luck. It's very minimalistic and sleek and clean. So these are like national heritages, and you could put variations on it too. Yeah, so you've probably seen these kind of style of pottery. And then there's the Koryo Cheongja. So in the Koryo era, before Joseon Dynasty, the green potteries were very in style. So we have like the cranes, which symbolize like longevity and stuff like that on. So these were very famous. And then I didn't know about buncheongzagi. Oh, so these are, I think, oh, wait, I didn't know about these. These are very peculiar. So you can definitely see the resemblance from yeah, the Wenzi products. Okay. Ah, now I get the resemblance. Oh, interesting. So if you're interested in buying these products, go check out Piroso. And pro tip, subscribe to our newsletter, and then use the coupon codes. You know what? Actually, just for you guys, since it's a friendly live, I'll override the authority. Since I am one of the owners of the homepage, the store as well, I will actually give you a coupon. I'm not supposed to give you coupons, but just for you guys right now, I'll give you a secret coupon code that you can use. And let's see. I will drop you the coupon code. I'm sorry if there are any purchases already. Nope, not yet. So I think it's good to give you coupon codes. So dropping the coupon code right now, you can use the coupon code 100 and you will get an 8% discount. Yeah, don't tell Jen. Okay, one person has already used it. Yeah, but anyways, okay, enough of the unboxing and promotions. So one last glance at it. Very, very sleek, color changing glass cup. Go check it out. They are products from Wenzi, and please support Pidozo, and let's go on into the stream. Have you decided what I should eat? Oh yeah, it was pizza, right? It was just one-sided. I don't even need to do a survey. You guys all heard it, right? You guys all heard the ASMR, the coupon code, and I was kind of frightened because Jin suddenly got up and he started moving towards us this way. Maybe he was triggered. I gave out a coupon code, an unauthorized coupon code only for newsletter subscribers. But yeah, maybe I should talk like this the whole stream. I don't know if you can hear me clearly enough though. Love ASMR segment, soothing. 100 as in digit or words in digits. 100. You got some super chats. Okay, I will check them out. Let's see. Super chats. Oh, it's from Rachel yourself. I have a fun fact for y'all. David, South Carolina has the world's hottest chili pepper. What? The pepper is called the X pepper and it's 3 times hotter than its predecessor, the Carolina Reaper. What the hell? How can you even eat that then? Is it? I definitely think it's hotter than jalapenos, right? Okay. Tingly. Thank you, Rachel, for the $10 pizza. I will add it to my lunch money. Thank you for donating lunch money. Pizza is expensive nowadays. How much does a pizza cost in your own country? I think it's like per pizza, not even large size. A small size is like $20 or something. The discount has reached its usage limits? Really? Renato, confirm me if this is right. If it has reached its usage limit, then I will give you another coupon code. It shouldn't. Wait. Let me check. I'm checking right now. No, it's still active. Or did you use it before? Yeah. You can now see the title. Kurinopa does ASMR for an hour. Okay, maybe I should do it like that. Okay. Then I'll give you another coupon code. You know what? I'll just make for one for you guys. It doesn't take that long. You know what? I'll give you guys a special coupon. KPC 0622. Yeah. I'll give you a coupon code right now. Oh my god, this is show modern bestseller and traditional bestseller. There we go. And there we go. And here we go. It's only usable for 2 days since this is a special live stream. I will drop the code in the chat. There you go. I'm spamming the coupon code. So if you want to use it and get an 8% discount, go for it. Okay? Domino's large 2-topping pizza is $10? What? That's super cheap. That's actually very super cheap. What? How long is the coupon valid for? Only for 2 days. I'm so sorry. This is an unauthorized coupon, so I need to keep it short. Yeah. He's going to be scratching his head. Where did these people get discounts? $7.99 at Pizza Hut? Are you kidding me? Really? Wait, I thought everything was overpriced in the States. $8.99 at Little Caesars? What? What? Oh my gosh. And Mary Lou, thank you for the 20 PayPal. Pizza. Thank you so much for the support. And let me see how many people are watching. Can we start the main segment of today? Are you ready to rumble? 201. Yes. Okay, we've already been 20 minutes in stream. 20 for small. Is Pizza Hut good? In Korea, there's not a lot of Pizza Huts left. They've kind of died out. But Domino's and Papa John's are thriving. But yeah, we will start the stream at the 30-minute mark because you know I do like more than an hour streams. So let me go to Coupang Eats. I only use Coupang Eats because Coupang is the best. Literally, if you order something within the day, it comes within the day. If you order something at night, it comes next morning on your doorstep. And you can connect all the services at once. So if you use Coupang Rocket Delivery or like Coupang Plus, whatever you call it, you get Rocket Delivery, you get Coupang Eats discounts, free delivery, and then you get like Coupang Play, which is like Netflix of Korea. So we have Domino's. Oh. Okay, we have Domino's, Mad Pizza, just some other retail pizzas, Italian restaurants, and chicken and pizza, Pizza Hut, Record Pizza, Yellow Pizza, Pizza Heaven, No More Pizza, all these kind of stuff. I don't know what I should... Oh, Go Pizza. This is actually very popular. It's like a one-person pizza. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should just get Jackson Pizza. Jackson Pizza is really good. So if you happen to be in Korea and haven't tried Jackson Pizza, it's one of the best. So because of the rain, it's going to take 30 minutes. But let me order it. So see, I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding, guys. Pizza is super expensive here. So Jackson Pizza over here, and the R stands for regular size. And we have a regular size 5 cheese and pepperoni delight, and it's $20. I'm not kidding, right? So that would be like, I think, $18 to $17 in US, in Korean won. We have the originals like $8, like $9 or something like that. But yeah, since the minimal price is like 15, I will go for... Is there a half and half menu? Yes, half and half. Oh, half and half is only available in large size. In large size, it's $26. I am not getting a $26 pizza. I do not have that kind of... Yeah. See, the large pizzas, a large Hawaiian pizza and something is $30 over here. American Spirit is $34. Greek, whatever, melting cheese is $38. I'm not lying. I don't know why pizzas are overpriced. Maybe every Western food over here. A margarita large pizza is $26. Yeah. This is crazy. You want to see Domino's? Okay, let's see Domino's. Going into Domino's. Okay, this is Domino Pizza. And you have to order over $20 to get it delivered. And if you look at the large size, it's $30. Potato is $27. Black Tiger shrimp is $37. All of the large sizes are over $30. There's a sunny combo or whatever. And if you go to like potato and all that, it's like all $30 or over $20. So Domino's is like that much. Yeah, $30 for a large pizza. New York origin, $30. Best Quattro, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm not getting franchise pizza because it's expensive. Jackson Pizza is like a mid-tier franchise, but it's really good. And I'm telling you, even the large pizzas have a super small size. You'll be surprised if you order pizza in Korea. Like, it's going to be super small. But, yeah. American Spirit is just a bunch of pepperoni, crispy bacon, and mushrooms. That actually sounds good. Maybe I'll get that. Super Jackson. So I will get the smallest size, a Super Jackson. And this one is $13. So I can buy it with Rachel and the money Rachel and Mary Lou sent me. Yeah, let me get that Super Jackson. This one never fails. So I am ordering pizza, guys, and I need to order a side because I need to match the minimum delivery. Oh yeah, let me just get a Coke. They don't have other options than Coca-Cola, so yeah, I'm not even kidding. They only have Coca-Cola, Sprite, and Dr. Pepper. I think all of them are from the Coca-Cola company, so I have no choice. Let's see. French fries? Should I put fries on top? Nah. Maybe. Yeah, I'm digging some French fries, but French fries are $6. Are you kidding me? Crispy hot wings, $7.8. Chicken tender, $6. Nah. Okay. Why do they only have big size Coke though? Yeah, I'll just keep it and drink it forever. Okay. Yeah, I've matched the minimum. And ordering now. Let's go. Let go. Okay. Order finished. Enjoy the pizza. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you. The sizes are not big like the US. Yeah, so note that this is going to be a $15 pizza, and I will show you the size, and you will be shook. You will be shook. I ordered a Jackson pizza. Yeah, Super Jackson. Yeah. Now I'm getting hungry with the pizza talk. I'm pretty sure it's pretty late over there. Coke is most likely more popular in South Korea. I think Coke is just popular all over the world, but nowadays I'm seeing, a big popularity of the lime zero Pepsi. Yeah. DoorDash and Uber Eats. We don't have DoorDash or Uber Eats. Uber Eats failed in Korea because Uber was kicked out. Okay, let's go into the stream. Let's get into the stream. 213 people watching. Appreciate that. Please press a like and leave a like on the video. That will help me a lot. And yes, in spirit of today's live stream title, which is Korean Guy Life Stories, I need to get that SEO, okay? Yeah, I would like to just say my life stories, but without that Korean guy keyword, it won't get as much views. So school, military, and dating. What do you want to hear about first? School life, military life, dating life. I won't do a Narnia, Chronicles or anything. I won't do a David Chronicles. So you guys ask the question within the terms of school, from elementary, middle school, high school, college, masters. I've done it all in Korea. So I am Korean verified. I've done my high school education in Busan. And ever since college, I've been in Seoul. And then my military experience, I've been to the training camp and I've been in the police. So technically I am not ROK Army. This is just for the actual military guys. And And then as for dating, there are boundaries on what I can reveal or not, but it depends on what kind of questions you ask. So let's go ask those questions. Straight to dating? Nah, I'm gonna save that. Military. Oh, everybody's so interested about military life. Okay, turn by turn. Happy to be here says, was military life like DP? So you guys might have seen the Netflix series DP, and you guys got to understand with the nature of content itself, if it's not very sensational or stimulating, people aren't going to watch. So they definitely put the most severe cases in DP, but I am not undermining those cases. It's not that severe. There are those kind of incidents happening within the military. Most recently, a soldier died because one of the captains were doing like just training, and they made him gear up in like, you know, full equipment. So the full equipment, if you're fully equipped, it weighs over like I think 15 to 20 kilos. You have that backpack on, and you have like the hot military suits on, you have the helmet on, and in this weather, they were training him, and they were giving them discipline, the soldiers discipline, and one soldier said that he didn't feel good and he was having a hard time, like, you know, breathing or standing up. But then the officers thought he was just, you know, trying to slack off, and he was just like not being serious, and they just went on with the discipline, and he died. So this has become a huge incident, and the officers actually got detained yesterday, and they're going on full investigation. So we don't know what's going to happen, but a lot of people are saying that these guys are actually murderers because they disregarded the complaint and the comments from the soldier. So that is a very sad incident. Wait a sec. It's super hot in here, so I need to... Wait a second, guys. Sorry. I need to put up the AC a little bit. There you go. It was just too hot today. Kunisha, thank you for the purchase on Piroso. Thank you so much. So yeah, just in time for the topics. Couch potato. Yeah. So that happened, and that's a big case of abuse. Yes, it is. So that happens very frequently. We call it 완전 군장. It's a form of, like, you know, if you don't do something right, these officers pack you up in full equipment, and they make you run around the training camp or whatever. So I'll show you how it is. There we go. So this is how they are equipped. They have all the equipment on their backs, and yeah, this is usually for like marching. Oh, it's actually 38.6. Wow. So I was mistaken. It was 38.6. And these guys were detained. They were arrested because of that incident, which happened like June 21st. That's like yesterday. So the equipment inside is like this. You have, like, you know, the mini sleeping bags. You have the canteens. You have the gun. You have the vest. You have all the other stuff. And this is a part of training, like the 4-week, 5-week training. This is done during the last week, so it's the hardest, one of the hardest things. We have to like march, you know, multiple kilometers, and everyone gets like their. We have these weird what do you call it? I don't know these words in English. We have blisters. We get blisters on our feet once everybody's done. Yeah, multiple blisters. And this is the form of punishment we give. So apart from like push-ups and all this kind of stuff, this is all we do. But you know, on the training grounds, yeah, this is what we do. So we hold like 20 to 38 kilogram equipment, and then with our guns in this weather, and we keep on going around and around and around the camp. And yeah, that's how someone died. That's how someone died. And it's very tragic. And this is on the news every single day. Yeah, you're seeing the news right now. And they said it was a shock. Yeah, I don't know what the word is. 폐혈증? Blood poisoning? 폐혈성 쇼크. Septic shock. They said it was a septic shock, the cause of death. So it's very tragic. I don't know why I got into this topic first, but yeah, these things happen. DP is not so far off at all, I guess. Yeah, that is so much to carry on your back. I know. You watched Korean Englishman's video. Have you seen it? Yes, Korean Englishman is recently doing a series experiencing like English high school students, or these students experiencing Korean military. Picture Jimin sad about this. Yeah, they've all gone through this. They do this at training camps. DP 나온 지가 2년이 넘었는데도 여전한 현실. Exactly. So DP... Septic shock is so scary, I know, right? So DP is mostly focused on, I would say, the corrupt military, on how like the authorities tried to hide these situations when they occur, and also the dynamics within the camps among the soldiers. So because military has a strong hierarchy, and it's supposed to be like that, honestly. In war times, you know, without hierarchy and authority, like you can't control a troop or a platoon. So I get that, but sometimes in the modern era, if you go overboard, there are human rights and there are conflicts, and there's a line where you can order or bitch around your like privates and your subordinates, right? So you need to be very careful. And like sexual harassment, sexual assault, that is all real. And yeah, I just don't want to depict military as such a dark place, because while that all does happen behind the scenes, it is always the bad apples, the few people that are just ruining the whole experience. And that's just pure luck, because once you get assigned to a troop, to a base, it's like a lottery. Whoever your boss is, whoever your captain is, whoever your like, you know, troop leader is, determines whether your military life is going to be good or not. So just to dissect the process, once everybody turns 20, they get letters from the military, and they could delay it or not with certain methods. You could go to college, and you could, you know, stay in college until like, I guess 22 or something like that, or 23, 24. You could go ahead with your masters, and then you could delay it a little bit more. Yeah, but everybody needs to basically go before like 30. I think that's the threshold, I think. And you get enlisted, and there are specific kind of divisions you can apply for. Those have big competition. For example, we have like the Katusa, which is like training with the US. So everyone wants to go there because the US military is more humane. They care about the soldiers' rights and human rights. They give out good food. They have good barracks. They have good beds, good environments. There's not a lot of like Korean soldiers there. You don't have to like directly be in like physical training. Most of them are like translating positions and stuff like that. So a lot of people want to go to the Katusa. And then the next one would be like firefighters. So you get to apply for like firefighting positions. Of course, you're not doing the actual, like you're not jumping in fire or anything, but you're assisting the actual firefighters because there's a shortage in manpower in the firefighting departments. And it's a very important thing to sustain society, right? So that's like second. And then you would have police. So I applied for police. I of course applied for Katusa, but the competition, the lottery is just so harsh. I just failed on that. And then you have the police, which is now abolished. You had auxiliary police, and these people, these police service does like special operations, like guarding the U.S. embassy, guarding presidential homes, guarding certain military facilities, and also going out to like protest control, demonstrations, and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we do. And those three are considered the best. And then above that is like civil workers. Like in order to become a civil worker, you need to have some kind of medical condition. You need to have some kind of like defect on your body or somewhere. So we do like the physical exams. And under grade 4, like if you're grade 4 or below, you can apply for like a civil servant worker. Yeah. And people call those workers like God tier because everyone wants to like work. Everyone wants to remain in the city and work at city hall or like the train station or like a neighborhood, office, right? So I think Suga is recently, he's doing the civil servant service because I think he has like a bad shoulder or something. So you have to have a medical condition like that. And then other than that, if you have like good English scores or like good grades or whatever, you can apply for the special positions. And then we have like the normal army. So the Korean army, the ROKA, is probably the most common place you can enlist. If you don't apply for any special forces, you go just directly to the ROKA. And these are spread all around Korea. From we have camps in Busan, we have camps in Nonsan, where Jin was. That's where the training happens, and we have camps at the DMZ, and near most of the bases are located up north because we need to defend our northern territory, right, against like North Korea. So it's like in Chuncheon, Gangwon-do, everywhere, somewhere like that. And yeah, if you go to the military, the army, it's a little bit more harsh than the special positions for sure, because all of these randos just come, like these random people, and these people, they have a high chance of not being very educated, or a lot of them come from poverty. And I'm not trying to like group them up and generalize, but mostly like educated people are more on the decent side, and like less educated people, once they gain that power within the military, there's a saying among Korean men that your prime in your whole life was the military. That's a remark towards a lame person who hasn't succeeded in society. And that means the only place of position in power, the only position of power you've been in is the military, the sole experience you had. And because these people just get addicted with that power, they've never felt that in society before, because like society wise they were considered losers or like dropouts. They now become like very bloodthirsty in some terms. So they abuse their subordinates, they do like weird stuff, they power trip, and a weird dynamic forms. So that's kind of sad. So that's why the army is quite harsh, I would say. A lot of people say more than the training itself. Of course, the factor of being confined in a camp for more than like 18 months nowadays. My time it was 21 months. My dad, it was like 3 years. It's like getting shortened and shortened. But like, first of all, you're you're limited, you're confined in a base for more than multiple months. You only get out like once every 3 months for like 3 days to see your parents and friends and family. That's it. And you don't even earn a lot of money nowadays. I heard they give a decent amount of money, but back in my days I only got $100 per month, and that's when I was like at top class. When I was a private, I only got like $80 or something. It's people just buy what do you call it, cigarettes, and that's it. Yeah. But anyways, going back, you're confined in a camp and you can't go out. You have no freedom. Nowadays you can use cells, but in my days I couldn't use cell phones. But you can only use smartphones at designated times. There are no women. It's all male, of course. It's a very toxic masculine environment. Every single day, all the dialogue is basically locker room talk. Yeah, just imagine that environment, and then imagine like a very evil, uh, what do you call honey in English? Senior. Yeah, evil senior. That's just very bloodthirsty and who exists just to bully you. Yeah, that's basically what the environment is like, and you gotta do whatever they ask you to do, like clean up or do chores or buy something from the store or something like that. It's their glory days, exactly. Yeah, so that's what happens in the army. And nowadays, because of the advance and elevation of human rights, it's eased a little bit and you can report it. But even if you report it, I'll give you a case back in my days. So I'm a man who likes humanity, right? And I'm a man of love, right? So a lot of people in my era wanted to cut that vicious cycle of like bullying your subordinates, and then once they become like the seniors, they're like, oh, I deserve to bully my subordinates too because I was bullied this much. So I wanted to cut that vicious cycle. When I went into the police, it was brutal too. Like within the dorms, it was pretty brutal. I got sexually harassed, I got bullied, I got everything. But anyways, besides all of that, I wanted to cut that cycle. I wanted to become a good senior. So one day, I had my subordinate, and he was like moving a lot of bulky equipment and stuff from the police bus, and he was coming up, and he was coming up the elevator. We had an elevator. It was a nice facility. That's why everyone wants to go to police. But anyways, we were coming on the elevator. Our base was at 6th floor. 1 to 6th floor were all police force. But anyways, we came up the 6th floor, and then the rule is the basic rule is that you need to take off your shoes right in front of the elevator, or else you will get like a minus point, and then those minus points stack up and affects your vacation and whatever. If you get like plus 10 points, you get an extra day out, stuff like that. So the currency inside is extra points, right? So if you do something good, the captains would give you officers would give you like an extra point, but you can also lose points if you do something wrong. So my subordinate, he had like a full backpack. He had like luggage with him, and he was not in the situation to take off his shoes. All right, so he took his chance and he ran into the hallway and quickly put down the luggage and unequipped his backpack and stuff. He ran back to the elevator, and of course he was like tiptoeing and stuff, and then he took off his shoes and he got caught by an officer. And the officer was like, oh, why didn't you take off your shoes? -1 point. I get discipline wise and rule wise, it is technically a minus point. But then I knew that because this subordinate, he was a little bit like slow, okay? Like he wasn't really good at training and stuff. So he already had so many minus points. And that minus point was the threshold to like steal one of his it would actually cancel his whole vacation. And I felt so bad for him. And actually I wrote like one of there's like a letter system in the military if you want to report it to like a higher official. So we have like our own so these military words are so hard. We have our own platoon officer, and then we have our own company. Is it called a company? I don't know. There's an officer higher than that. So I wrote to him and I said, "Oh, this happened. You know, he didn't have any choice. Like there was no one around him to help him out. Everybody was busy with their own work. He literally just ran inside and put down the equipment and came back. And this officer gave him a minus point, and because of that, he will miss his first chance to go out to society. I feel so bad for him. So could you do something for that?" And then as soon as I wrote that letter, I got summoned to the company office, and the person was glaring at me, and he was like, "Why did you write this?" And I was like, it's self-explanatory, right? I felt so bad for him. I felt like it was a mistaken, you know, like his intention wasn't considered, and I felt like it was a harsh sentence for him. So I felt you could give a little bit of mercy, you could show a little bit of mercy towards him as a higher officer. And then he was like, "Okay." And then he sent me out, and I was like, that's weird. And then after 5 minutes, he summoned the whole company, and yeah, I don't know what the word for 중대 is. Like we have platoon, and then above that we have 3 platoons, and we call it a 중대. The 3 소대s are made into 3 중대s, and I'm using Google Translate, and it says company right now. So it's like a group of 100 soldiers. So he gathered up the 100 soldiers in the main hall, and he brought me up and my subordinate, and he publicly shamed us in front of 100 people. I don't know what the reason is, but he was being all sarcastic and all, and he was like, "Oh, this good senior over here is trying to look after his subordinate. He thought he was being nice, but that is not how the military works." And he disregarded the chain of command. He had his own platoon officer. He did a report to him, and he reported directly to me. And you guys know that if you put a letter in those like report thingies, it goes all the way to like the whole 대대, what is 대대? Battalion, and it goes on to a full investigation. And he was like shaming us, and he kept on saying, "Why aren't you trying to handle things internally? This is not a way to handle things." And I got his point, but he was like, everyone was laughing at us, and then I was like, I don't deserve this. All I was trying to do was trying to look after my subordinate, and he had to really summon the whole company and shame us. And then he gave us 2 extra minus points. Both of us. He even gave me extra minus points. And he was like, "Yeah, that's how the military is. You have to learn discipline inside here, abiding by orders, chain of command. This is not how you act." And I was just so baffled by that. And I felt so bad for him. He never was able to go out anyways. Yeah, the belittling is totally uncalled and ridiculous. Karma is gonna get that higher up. Yeah, and that's the level of corruption you're dealing with. These officers are so afraid to like cover their own asses. They don't want any kind of leakage from their own company leaking out to the battalion or like other higher officials. They don't want any complaints being filed. So they want to hush everything in an internal level. And they say chain of command to justify everything. And that's what you see in DP, like cases like that. Even though someone is brutally like abused, or like someone gets killed or something, they try to cover it up. They make a cover up story just to save their own asses. And I think that's just the nature of military itself. And because of that systematic, organization, or like how the group is formed, or the dynamics, that's where the rotting and the corruption and all that occurs. And that's why it enables the officers and the seniors to bully and abuse their subordinates. And nobody reports about it. Nobody wants to fix it because it's going to all disadvantage their careers. So that's the stressful point. And yeah, I would have complained about getting disciplined for reporting. So nowadays, I think the Gen Z, okay, so up to the millennials, we have a sense of discipline, okay? Even after that, I thought it was unfair, but I was like, okay, this is the military. I have to suck it up. This is like the mini experience. Everyone says the military is a mini experience of society before you get into like society and companies and actual companies and corporates and like, have to handle like businesses and stuff. You learn human relationships with shitty people, and you're practicing within the military. That's how everyone justifies it and depicts it. So I had that mindset too, because I was gaslit by everybody who was saying that. So I was like, okay, this is what I have to deal with. My actions come with consequences and blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, let's not make any more mess. But I think the younger generation, like when I was about to get discharged, very young people came in, and like, I went to the military relatively in an older age. I went when I was like 25 or 24 or something. So the people that were coming in were like 19, 20. They were fresh, and they had different mindsets. A 5-year difference. It's like when you're in graduating middle school, they're like second grade in elementary. So they have different mindsets. They came in, they saw injustice, and they were like, I don't give a fuck. I am just going to blow up this whole platoon or battalion or whatever. Like, if this is unjust, if this is unfair, I'm going to write a letter to the president and to the Blue House, to like the actual, military defense, like the Pentagon. And that's what they actually did. These people came in. So as soon as I was about to like get discharged, these new group of people, like soldiers, privates, came in, and they saw like the minor cases of abuse. I just thought that was like the default. Like, I went through all of that. I went through all that bullying, and there were these like micro aggressions happening. Like, we had to memorize all our like seniors' names in a day. If you weren't able to do that, like within like the dorms, the seniors would say like 엎드려 뻗쳐. And what is 엎드려 뻗쳐? Like 엎드려 뻗쳐, like these things in English. Yeah, these kind of things. You would do these kind of stuff inside the dorms, and it's just purely to make them like, fear you, like, oh, I am your senior, do not fuck with me. So just to give that vibe, they'd ask for like weird stuff. And every single day we had like clean before we sleep at 10 p.m. we always have to clean our dorm. And our dorm was huge, so everybody has a part. Like, I would do like the towels, the wet towels, and somebody would do like the wiping, somebody would do like the sweeping, somebody would do the humidifying and whatever, like the lockers and all that kind of stuff. And then the person, the highest in rank of our whole platoon, would do an inspection, and it is flawless, it is clean as hell. And then he would literally go up, he would literally bring a ladder like chair and go up to like a window frame, which you can't even reach without a ladder, and he would swipe the window frame like this. And then he would go to a private and show it in front of his face, and he's like, what is this? What do you think this is? And he'll be like, that's dust. I was like, that's dust, right? You know what you did wrong, right? Okay, 엎드려 뻗쳐. And then we would have to do this kind of stuff for 30 minutes before we go to sleep. And because that happened to the new batch of fresh people that were in their 20s, the next day a full-on inspection, a full-on investigation came top down from the Department of Military Defense. An officer was assigned to investigate that, and it was proven to be true because like we get like, they interview all the people and stuff, and we can't cover up for that, like that's what happened. So it was proven to be true, and then the higher ranks, they have all the authority because military is like, everything is just authority. They were like, this is wrong, we need to fix this, disassemble this whole battalion. And he literally just blew up the whole battalion. Just like that. And these privates, like, it was later found out that these privates, the next day they opened their eyes, they sneaked out and went to like a phone booth, and they called the military, the Department of Defense, and they said, this is happening in our platoon, I want an investigation. That's what happened. Yeah, so when I saw that, I was like, I was stressed at the same time, and also I felt like maybe this is what's supposed to happen if you want change. But I felt an unfairness in my heart too, because I went through that, I sucked it all up, and I was obedient, and I thought that was how society was supposed to work. But these guys, literally on day one, they blew up the whole battalion. Imagine that. And then our whole battalion was like all disassembled, whatever that word is. And then they were all sent to other troops. Yeah. So that was wild. China me think, wow, whoo! Pizza! I can buy 5 pizzas with that money. Thank you so much. Good looking out for a Dongseng like a good hyung. Thank you so much, Uncle Dan. Shout out to Uncle Dan. Yeah. Thank you so much. Anyways, that's crazy, right? When my oldest brother came back from the military, he would walk on the floor barefooted, and if any dirt stuck to his foot, we had to clean again or stand in the corner with our arms out. Yeah, every base has their form of, abuse and bullying and bullshit. But yeah, so much BS. Like, it's because you're in a time chamber where time doesn't flow as fast as society. So all there is to do is make fun of your subordinates and like tease them and bully them. So, yeah. Dissolved. Yes, dissolved. Uncle Dan be looking out. Thank you so much, Uncle Dan. But, yeah, that's the military days. But even regarding all that, I had it easy because I was police. Yeah, I was still in society. And I was allowed to go to convenience stores when I was working and stuff. And I still got to see how society is, how civilization is working. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, maybe I just talked about the dark sides, but there are a few things you pick up in the military as well. As I said, you do definitely learn how to interact with people and learn a microcosm of society, and you learn discipline, and you learn how to wash the dishes and cook, because there are routines there too. You become very thankful for your food, your daily food on your plate. No leftovers allowed. That's where I learned how to eat vegetables and kimchi. I was so hungry that I was forced to eat kimchi. Yeah. And you become very, very healthy because you have a very routine schedule. You sleep at 10 p.m. You wake up at like 5:30 or 6 or 7, depending on the day's schedule. As soon as you open your eyes, there's like this weird horn like song that blazes through the speakers, and then as soon as you open your eyes, within 15 seconds, you need to fold your blankets in a very, very like neat way, and the inspectors, like your seniors, would see that and see whether if you folded it right or not. And if you haven't, you would get also disciplined or like minus points. And then after those 15 seconds, within a minute, you have to all go stand within the front hall if it's raining, or if it's not raining, you have to all assemble down at the training grounds. And then at 5:30, they blow the whistles and say like, ah, dude, and then they'll do all the like jumping jacks and all that kind of push-ups. You're not even like awake, you're still like in your dreams, but you're doing it anyways. And then you run around. So that's what daily life looks like. So you get healthy, and after that you eat morning at like 6 or 7, and then you go on with your daily schedule. And it feels like a full day, and you realize it's only lunch, and you still have 12 more hours to go. So that's what the military looks like, and that's why everybody's bored to death, and that's why people just bully others. Yeah, very structured and disciplined. Yes, Jesus, that's so strict, but that is the military. Like, military in every country would be like that. Sounds like a scene from Forrest Gump. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Tell us about the payment. Nowadays, I don't know, but when I was a private, I got 70, 80 bucks. And then when I was discharging as a 병장, what is 병장? Is it sergeant? 병장 영어로. Yeah, it was a sergeant. I got 100 bucks. 요즘 군대 월급. So nowadays, holy crap. They get more than $1,000 if you're a sergeant nowadays. No. Yeah. Oh my God. Next year is gonna be $1,500. That's a regular minimum wage job, as it should be. Honestly, as it should be. So privates start at $500. Oh my God, that's a 500% increase. Yeah, so we barely got any money back in the day. 70, 80 day, what do you mean? A month. 160, yes. 06번 군번인데 병장 때 8만 원 받았습니다. Yeah, so this person, I didn't know you were a guy. Oh my gosh. This Korean subscriber was in the military in 06, and he got 80 bucks per month when he was a sergeant. Yeah, at least I got 100 bucks. So yeah, that's like a 10-year difference, and there was like a maybe 100% increase. Yeah, but nowadays they get over $1,000. Yeah. Anyways, that's why the only thing you can do is train and work out and get buff. Everyone had their physical prime in the military. Yeah. And I was a little bit well off because I was good at my training. I was good at soccer. Soccer matters a lot. So if you give good passes to your seniors and they score a goal, then they like you. So they give you like preferential treatment. And also I gave like 소개팅s to my seniors as well. And if you introduce them to your girlfriends, then they give you preferential treatment too. So yeah. Do you have a pic of your buzz cut? Yes, I do, but I can't find it. Yeah, it's probably somewhere, but can't find it right now. Anyways, I think that's about it about the military talk. We've done a lot of talking. Yeah, I think it's already been an hour, right? An hour, yes. So let's move. Oh, 333 people watching. Thank you. Please leave a like. Yeah, and let's move topics. I think the pizza should be here in any time, so let's go to a lighter topic. Any questions for for education and education or dating. Buzz cut David for the thumbnail. Yeah, I think that would be good. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll put in my buzz cut picture if I can find it. David sounding more and more about Danny every stream. What, really? Danny was a problematic soldier. So we have a thing called 관심병사. It's a person of interest. And these people are people that just don't cope well with like stressful situations or pressure, and they just don't abide by military laws. And Danny was a person of interest. He said this on stream multiple times, so I can reveal this. But he basically punched one of his seniors because I guess he was verbally bullying him so much. And at any terms, even though you're getting bullied or abused, it doesn't justify physical retaliation. So but then the ironic thing is, like, you would think you ought to get punished for that kind of behavior, right? Initially you do get punished, but at the end, because the officers don't want to deal with like these people of interest because they are like mentally fragile and you don't know what they're going to do, they're a risk to the base, right? So they want to get rid of these people. So eventually they send these people of interest to hospitals to get like medical checkups, or they send them to other bases. And usually these bases have it more easier and they get like easier jobs and comfortable jobs. So a lot of people abuse this kind of system. And they have plans once they come into the military, and they're like, I'm going to intentionally fuck up and I'm going to get like stationed to an easier position. Yeah, stuff like that. 학원 teaching stories. Okay, yeah, let's go into the education stuff. Food is almost here. I am starving, honestly. Okay, so for school, elementary school, why was I bullied so much in my life? I came back from the States when I was 10 years old. When I started elementary school here, I was in 4th grade. I went to a public school right in front of my house. I was in Busan. You got to know that the South in Korea is a little bit more harsh in terms of language and masculinity and all that kind of stuff compared to Seoul. People are a little bit more rough. So, yeah, I went to a public school. The first day I went, I got bullied because I didn't speak fluent Korean. And you know how kids are. They see a slight difference. And they're like, oh, he's like an alien. He doesn't know how to speak. He's so dumb, all that kind of stuff. I got bullied by the kids. I think this is a form of abuse. I got abused by the teacher. What the teacher did is, the first lunch I still remember vividly. It was kind of like a porridge, like a rice kind of porridge. And next to it we had soup, and it's called 시래기국. It's a form of 된장찌개, but you have like, you know, it's not very visually good looking. It looks like shit, honestly. I'm sorry to shit on my own country's food, but this is what you call 시래기국. Yeah, it's a very popular dish in school food or like the military. It looks like shit, right? So I was just fresh from the States. I never saw this kind of food. It tasted funny to me. Visually, it looked like shit. And I had only like, no, 3 slices of meat, and then everything else were like just bean sprouts and broccoli, something like that. 시금치. And I couldn't eat that, you know. It was a me problem, but I was not accustomed to Korean food. I was not used to it because I was in, you know, public schools in America, and they gave me hamburgers, hot dogs, and pizzas, or I just had like a sandwich with peanut butter and stuff. And then I come to Korea and then see all this like weird food in front of me and tastes all funny. And definitely I just couldn't finish the whole meal. And then the teacher called me, and there was a policy called like, let's save food, something like that. No remaining food, 0 waste. All that BS. I get it's a good thing, but like forcing it is not good because the teacher literally mixed up all the porridge into the shiregikuk and all the veggies all into it. She got like a whole spoon of it and shoved it down my throat. She was like, "Come here, and then you're going to be living in Korea. You need to know how to eat Korean food in a very nice manner, okay? Not even like abusively." She sat me in front of her desk, and I was there, and she was like, "Look at this," and she mixed all of that up. It's like, yummy, and then she's like, ah, and then I was like, ah, and then she shoved it down my throat, and after 3 spoons, I couldn't take it anymore because I was feeling like I felt like I was about to throw up, and then I rushed to the bathroom and I actually threw up, and then I came back, and then I guess she made an exception for me because I threw up, and she saw the severity, but she was like, "You got to get used to it. This is gonna be your daily life," and I was like, "Oh no, I'm fucked. I hate Korea. I'm getting bullied. I'm getting bullied by the teacher. I need to eat shit food. I'm gonna throw up every day." So after that long day, I went crying to my mom, and I was like, "I can't do this. I want to go back to the States, or I don't know. I don't want to go to school." And my mom heard about the severity, and I guess she felt bad about me too because I was so young, and it was the environment change was so drastic. So what she did was she got me into a private school, and she thought that would be a little bit better because they were like private schools, you need to pay to go there, and like rich family kids go there. So yeah, she got out of her way, and we were not like a very rich family or anything, but she sent me to a private school because it was like only 2 years to last in elementary. So she was like, "Okay, once you, until like the transition period, let's send him to private school." I went to a private school. I got on a bus. I had school uniforms and all that. It was a little bit better. I have to admit, but still, there were I was an outcast because I didn't speak good Korean. I only had 2 friends, and we were very quiet introverts in the back of the classroom, and we drew Pokemon, and we drew like cartoons by ourselves and shared it. And while the other people were like playing soccer and like, all that stuff. And yeah, there was this the only time in my life that I like physically engaged in a fight was during the early days of my elementary school when I was 5th grade. So there was this one bully, and he was notorious. He bullied everybody, but it was my turn back then. And then I was lined up for lunch. We had like cafeteria trucks come in front of the hallway, and then we would have to get these plates and get the food on it. So this is how Korean school food looks like nowadays. It's so good, right? Like you have jjajangmyeon, you have like kalguksu and everything. You have all these good stuff. But anyways, we were lined up, and then suddenly I had my food and all my soup there, so I can't use my hands, right? And then he came sliding down the hallway full speed, and he pulled down my pants. And then I think his intention was just to pull down my pants, but he pulled down my underwear as well. And then I was standing there immobilized with my hands like this. I couldn't put it anywhere because the hallway was narrow. Everyone was lined up. There was no place to put my plate. And I stood there half naked with my dick like outside. And then all the girls were looking at me, and they were like, "Oh," and then like the guys were laughing, and the whole hallway was like, "What's happening?" And then with my pants on the ground, I like kind of waddled my way into the classroom. I put down the plate, and then I covered up, and then I put on my pulled up my pants really quickly. But then something inside me just snapped. It was like, this is not it. Like, I cannot tolerate this. I was publicly so humiliated. I mean, in hindsight, it's a cute incident, and like my dick was probably like a little elephant or something. But back then, when I was in a child's mind, a 11, 12-year-old's mind. Wait a sec, someone's calling me. 네. 네, 맞습니다. 네. 아, 빌라 옆에 있거든요. 빌라 옆에 문이 따로 있습니다. 네. 네. 네네, 맞습니다. 네네, 맞습니다. 네. 네, 박스가 잔뜩 쌓여 있거든요. 문 앞에. 그거 보시면 될 것 같아요. 네. 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 Yeah, the delivery driver's like not finding his way. But anyways, that was so traumatizing. And something just snapped inside me. I lost everything. And I don't even remember what happened. I do not remember what happened, I swear. And the moment I opened my eyes, he was sprawled on the floor and I was punching him over and over again and his face was all bleeding and his eye was like all like bloated up. And then like the teacher and everyone came to just like drag me off and then I think I broke like two teeth. 네, 두고 가세요. I think I broke like two teeth. I gave him like both like runny like a runny nose like on both nostrils and I left like a big like mark on his face. What is he saying? And anyways, yeah, that's what happened, and then that was a very traumatizing case. Anyways, yeah, blackout rage. Yeah, I saw red. Anyways, I saw the violence inside me then, and then it never happened again. But I don't know. After that, I felt kind of bad for him because he was like hospitalized. Yeah. So yeah, I was kind of a big boy. I was always a big boy in my class. I wasn't physically like inferior or anything. I was always like in the back of the class because I was always number one or two in height. And you know how physical class is like so the delivery guy's like complaining so much right now. But yeah. Anyways, did the bully seek revenge? I think he got scared and he didn't f with me. Later words. Yeah, I was just I think my classmates didn't want to associate me after that because I was just so crazy. Like apparently people tried to like get me off of him and like they screamed like yelling and say stop, but I kept on like punching him or something. So that's one incident that happened. Um, but then I returned to the outcast, and then I became an even more outcast. And I literally only have two friends from elementary school. One of them I don't keep contact. One of them became a restaurant owner, which became a Michelin restaurant nowadays. And just recently, he's in Hapjeong. He came up to Seoul and he contacted me in like 10 plus years, and yeah, we're close still. But anyways, yeah, I wish I could defend myself that way. I was too timid. Yeah, I was mostly like that 90% of the time too. And the bullying kept on going even throughout like middle school, and I didn't get bullied in high school, but in middle school I didn't get bullied because there was like a designated, like a there's always like a victim of bullying. There's always a designated like a weak child in the classroom. And everyone tries to like stand up for him. The teachers try to care for him, but because the bullying is so systematic, we can't be on the lookout for him every single day. And to be honest, like if we try to protect him, we get bullied too. So it's very hard for kids to actually tackle that situation. And I was among like, I was always an introvert. So the only form of protection I had was because I was always like class leader, because I was good with grades and I looked, pretty decent and was a good representative for the class. And the teachers liked me because I spoke good English, and they thought like my parents were professors, so they thought I was from a good family and stuff. So the teachers looked out for me, and the bullies knew that too. So if they were like if they mess with me too much, then they would face trouble. But I did get bullied. I always like got stolen off my phone. Back then we had like data plans, but we used currencies called eggs. It's called air. And because bullies usually come from like, poverty or not good families, they don't have like data plans for themselves, so they would always steal my phone and use it to their own personal use for their like, chatting with their girlfriends or whatever. And they would use all my money up. They would use my phones for games and all that kind of stuff. And then when I was playing soccer, this one bully just came up to me, and he didn't know who I was. Like, I'm not saying I'm a big shot or anything, but within my class I had protection, but like outside of my class, people don't know who I am, right? So I was playing soccer with another team, and then another bully from another class came up to me, and then I wasn't even playing against his class. Like, the crazy thing is, 6 soccer balls were flying coexisting in one playground, in one soccer field, because all of the whole school was playing simultaneously. So let's say there's like 12 classes playing against each other, then there's like 6 balls, right? So everything's just like coexisting. It's like total mayhem. You can't distinguish who's like your team players or anything. And then one ball comes to me, and then I didn't even do anything. I was just standing there, and it hit me. So it interfered the bully's pass. Like, he was passing towards someone, and it interfered. I got hit, and the ball just dropped up right in front of me. And then the next moment, he was raging and rushing towards me, and he launched a full-on fist at my face, and I sprawled down to the floor. And yeah, I basically got like, knocked out. I opened my eyes, and I was like in the nurse's room. But then I was so baffled. Later, the teachers got him to apologize to me, but he was like half-assing that. And then at the end, he was like, when the teachers were out and the place was clear, he was like, "Don't fucking get in my way. Why were you standing there? Because of you, I missed the goal." That's just crazy. Yeah, so got physically abused. This type of bullying is everywhere. Like, I think if you're just children, these things are bound to happen. Let me just get my pizza, okay? Like, I'm just so hungry. Guys, like, 1 minute. In the dramas, bullies seem so extreme. Have you ever seen a case where kids get bullied but actually fights back? Growing up, you never know who you could fight. Well, the bullies don't pick on the people who have potential to fight back. People who fight back have like some kind of physical traits that separate them. Yeah. So I got my pizza. Happens a lot in the US, honestly. Yeah, and then in high school, like, my big motive to study really hard was to get into a foreign language high school, which is for like, good grade students. And yeah, I got into a foreign language high school, and there was no bullying there. People were just too busy preparing for the suneung. And then that's another form of societal bullying, I would argue, because you're just too busy to bully anybody. You're just like, if I don't study, I'm going to get left out from society. So everyone just goes to hagwons day after day. We stay at school. We go to school at 7 a.m., end school at 10 p.m., go to hagwons at 11, go home at like 1 a.m., and then sleep 5 hours or 6 hours. And then it's like, it's a hamster wheel. Every single day. I'm not even joking. Okay, I got my Jackson pizza. It's this small. This is a $15 pizza. To show you the size, it's the size of a water bottle. Okay, this is not even a big water bottle. It's the size of my face. This pizza is this small and it's $15. Isn't that outrageous? But it's good though. Legendary pizza and chicken. I think everything, including the portions and size in Korea, is just like small. Yeah. Like if you come to Korea and go to hotels and look at the towels, I've heard a lot of Westerners just get like baffled. Yeah. Look at this pizza. It's tiny, right? That's a New York slice. Yeah, this is $15. I'm not even kidding. I showed you all the prices, right? Transparency. A Domino's pizza would be slightly bigger than this. Slightly. But, yeah. This is what you get for a pizza. It's overpriced, but that's the market price over here. So, they gave me ranch. I think this is a form of ranch sauce. And then we have like the crushed red peppers. These are really good. And we got the Parmesan. Yeah, so excuse me while I eat my pizza. I'll be welcome to Korea. Yeah, $15 for that small pizza, right? Yeah, it's crazy. There's 4 pieces literally. But 잘 먹겠습니다. Thank you for everybody supporting on PayPal and Patreon and Super Chat. That's what we call the kids pizza. I know. Jackson Pizza is definitely better than most Korean pizza places. Also more expensive, says HMK. Yeah, I agree. The quality of toppings are really good. 감사합니다. Our pizza in Japan too, they are so small. But it's good. It's good. I have to say, it's worth it. It's worth it. I'm so excited to go to Texas and see everything so big. That's what I would buy from the supermarket for a personal pizza to heat in the microwave. So good. Yeah, if you have any more questions about like school days, ask away in the chat, please. Good toppings though, I know, right? You can those little portions now, but next week in Texas you'll stretch your belly out. Yes, I'm gonna eat real Texas barbecue. That's the personal size we could get in college campus. Not sure if that's sold in normal pizza places. Yes, getting Texas BBQ for sure. And I have to get Zaxby's. That's for a video. And also I need to try Whataburger. Some fun memories from school? Basically elementary school, as I said, I only remember drawing in the back of the classroom. That was my friend and I, we wanted to become cartoonists back then. Yeah. So we drew cartoons and then shared, and we would make like relay cartoons, you know, like how the stories interlink. And that was basically like my life in elementary school. Nothing really fun. It was only like 2 years in Korea though. I don't really remember my US elementary school life. I only remember that I had to walk a lot to different classes, and then because I was like Asian and I was good at math, maybe that stereotype is right. I was in GT, gifted and talented, so I went to like separate rooms. I was in like international school, so there were Asians, Hispanics, black people, white people, everyone. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Buc-ee's during the Texas trip. On my list. I was 10 when I came back to Korea. Yeah. Make sure to film it all. Yes. Tex-Mex for sure. Yes. It's gonna cost a fortune though. Yeah, but fun stuff in middle school. I guess in middle school I had a hobby of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So I had a small group of friends, and then we would go to this place called Mikhail, and it's a place where you trade Yu-Gi-Oh cards and duel and stuff. So I was like a very introvert, person who liked drawing and Yu-Gi-Oh cards and all that kind of stuff. um, I never dated until like there was like this similar dating experience when I was in high school, so I'll get into that after this piece. With the Parmesan cheese on, it's so good. Yes, we moved classes in elementary. I think as you said, I think we were mostly in most of the classes for one class for most subjects, but for the gifted and talented, like math and some other science or something like that, I moved around. Are you gonna buy an American flag T-shirt to go with your cowboy? Yes. Okay, I will do that and put it up on my Instagram. Okay, that is a done deal. I need to do that for sure. Should I get a Texas T-shirt or like a big American flag T-shirt? Terry Black. Yeah, that's the place we're trying to go. I was in the States during 9/11. I still remember it when I was in my classroom. Yeah. For some reason I have that memory. I'm pretty sure I was in the States. When was 9/11? When was the year? Please tell me. I think the teachers all made us go home or something that day. Bigger American flag, okay. NASA's in Houston, right? If I have time, I really want to go, but my friend said, like, if you have extra time, NASA's worth going, but the tour itself is, like, mostly for kids. That's what he said. 2011? Yeah, I think I was in the States, yeah. I would have been 1992, so I would have been like 9 to 10 years old. Yeah, I was in there. That's so surreal. I didn't even know what was happening back then. I was such a kid. At least I don't know why, but are the mass school shootings, like the gun shootings, is that a recent thing? Or maybe I was just unaware of it when I was in the States. But has that been happening for like over decades now, or is that just a recent thing? Because I have no memories of hearing about that or experiencing anything close to that. The only shooting incidents I've experienced is I was in a Chinese restaurant with my parents, and then suddenly the waiter, and it was a big Chinese restaurant, and I heard some ratchet going on. Clearly something was not right. But then the manager and the waitresses all suddenly said, like, go, and then they all led us to like the kitchen door, and then there was a back door, and we all like ran, and we didn't even know why we were running. And then after that we heard like gunshots inside the restaurant. And then we're like, oh shit! And my dad like lifted me up and carried me to the car, and then we escaped. Yeah. No, it seems to have started in the past 20 years. Yeah, that's interesting. So tragic. Hmm. Yeah, that was in Baltimore. That's so scary. That is so scary. You never know when a rando is just gonna come up to a school with a machine gun and just like start shooting. That's how do people even send their kids to school with that fear? It's just out of the blue, right? Since Columbine, it got worse. I guess that's like the one of the biggest, right? Yeah, I heard Texas is like open carry state where you can actually carry guns and stuff legally. my friend my friend Wani, who lives in Seoul right now, his parents live in Texas, and he was like, like there's nothing that dangerous, but like just be on the watch out. Yeah. And he was like, if you have any emergency, you can contact me and I'll contact my parents for you. Yeah. Mm. I saw a really emotional and also impressive campaign for like to prevent and send out a message against like politicians about like guns and assault weapons and all that stuff to either like get rid of them or make like the registrations more stricter or purchases stricter. It was specifically about the mass shootings in schools. And what they did was they visually just showed the amount of children that were victims to these mass shootings over the past 10 years, I guess. And what they did was they lined up school buses. Like the amount of victims were in like I think the hundreds or something. I don't know specifically, but there were a lot of school buses. And what they were saying is like every school bus is a victim of like a mass shooting. These were the amount of mass shootings that occurred, and like every bus stands for a victim. And like the school buses were going in line after line, and then they all like formed something, and that campaign really hit hard. Hmm. Chicago public schools all have metal detectors. That's wild. It was really interesting when I went to the BTS concert in the States, and any kind of convention or concert. They all have metal detectors in front, and specifically for concerts, you need like clear bags where you can see insides of the bags. Yeah, we don't have that here. Honestly, as an outsider, as a Korean, I'm like, you don't need guns. Why do civilians need guns? But I guess at this point it's just too widespread. So as a form of protection, you need it. So it's too late for America, I would say. But yeah, there are there are more societies and more countries in the world that are well functioning without guns. It's definitely not a necessity. Yeah. A lot of road rage. Oh my gosh. I love Beef, by the way. The Netflix series Beef with Steven Yeun. All of our public schools had metal detectors as well. Some schools required clear bags. It's to help stop other things as well, not only weapons. Yeah. Like drugs, I guess? You know, though, if you have a really, really strong government and the approval of the people, maybe someday there's a slim chance that you could get rid of guns. I've heard a lot of people saying that guns are part of American culture, so that's another reason why you can't get rid of them. But to be honest, isn't it just like lobbying and the industry itself? That was such a good show. Yeah, Beef 재밌었어요. You finally decided to get one for protection. Yeah. I think my dad, I don't know. I think he did. I think he had one underneath like the wardrobe or drawer or something while we were in the States too. I don't know if he was allowed to own one, but if it was just lobbying, it would be the subject of the Second Amendment. Yep. So I have no say in this because I'm a foreigner, an outsider. So purely from an observative standpoint, I'm like, from a gun-free society, I'm like, whoa, what's the obsession over guns? Oh, this pizza is so good. Thank you, guys. It's so interesting how lobbying is legal too. Lobbying is basically bribery. 외국 영상 찍는 분들이 한국 거리 찍어서 올리는 채널이 많아졌는데 초상권 문제. Yeah. So our Korean subscriber says there are a lot of foreigners nowadays in Korea just walking around Seoul making videos, just filming the streets and stuff, and there's a bunch of people. But in Korea, there's like portrait rights in public places too. So you can technically, I guess, report the person or maybe even sue the person if he doesn't like take down the video. Lobbying is considered donations in legal terms since they defined it that way with the government. So, when I'm in Texas, I'm actually going to get to experience the gun culture. Because initially, my friend suggested going hunting, but apparently it's not like there's a season for that. So we're probably gonna go shoot some plates, flying plates. Guns in America is an acknowledgement that no matter how nice the government is, government is dangerous. Interesting country, for sure. Reminds me of the movie I saw like 2 weeks ago, Civil War. So it's such a big contrast. Whenever you see zombie apocalypse series made from the US, everybody just shoots them down, right? But and then like a huge theme is like whether you're able to reproduce bullets in a factory or not, or the armory is like a very important tactical place in zombie apocalypse series in the US series. But in Korean series or Asian series, since we don't have any guns, everyone's just using like axes or bats. Swords. Yeah, interesting. Oh, you have to tip the instructor since they handed you the piece? Really? Oh, interesting. Oh, that pizza was good. Honestly, while the portions are small, this is just like the right amount. I don't need more. I would be like a lot of doctors on TV say that you always need to eat up to the point that not to the point where you feel full. It's like, oh, I'm full. Like, that's actually not healthy. If you feel a little bit more hungry and you feel like you could eat one more piece, or like, you know, an extra bowl could make you feel full, then that's the time to stop. That's like the actual healthy state for yourself. I've heard a lot of doctors say that. That's the state I am in right now. Honestly, I could eat one more slice or even a pizza at this size, but I'll just stop here because for my health. No guns like in Train to Busan. Yeah, I notice more and more K-dramas have guns in them because they're on Netflix though. Yeah, I mean, I guess gangs could have access to guns, but it's really hard to get a piece. It's really hard. You have to smuggle them in through the port, through China or something. 잘 먹었습니다. When I visited a gun range and used a Magnum, I was reliving my Claire Redfield from Resident Evil days. Everyone's so tired of waiting for GTA. I never played it before. But apparently there's a lot of fans in Korea too. And the funny thing is, whenever there's like a there was a funny meme, and it was this Korean couple that went on a trip to LA, and then they rented a car and the guy was driving around, and the girl was like, "오빠, 여기 어떻게 이렇게 잘 알아? Like she was like, how do you even get around this place like without looking at the map or anything? How do you know this place so well? And he was like, he just nodded. He's like, 그런 게 있어. He's like, yeah, there's something, there's something you don't know. And then she was confused and she put it up online, and then everyone in the comments were like, yeah, I even know how long it takes for the traffic lights to change at certain intersections, and they've all been to like Santa Monica Beach and stuff, and they memorize all the streets. Wasn't the conception of Taekwondo in Korea a product of the Japanese taking away swords and spears from the public, and the Korean population developed the martial art to defend themselves? I have no idea. If that is true, that is interesting. Yeah, that is cool. Japanese honestly took a lot of stuff from us, so wouldn't be surprised if that is true. They took away our names, our land, our palace. You know, if you come to Gwanghwamun right now, you want to know a very mind-blowing fact? If you see Gwanghwamun, everyone who's come to Seoul visits this place, right? This is Gwanghwamun. This is the front gate to the royal palace where the king used to be. Yeah, and you see like the Lee statue and the Sejongdaewang statue, King Sejong. So during the Japanese colonial rule, this whole place was blocked. Actually, it was not like this. They actually put like the administrative office of Joseon for the Japanese colonial rule, and if you look at that, this was right in front of our palace. Look what they did. This is old Seoul. Now they demolished all of this. But this is the blue house. This is the blue house over here, and then we have the royal palace behind there. You can see the contrast, right? So if you go over here, you see that there's a door, and then there's like the royal palace behind, right? Like the entrance here. In the middle of that, there's a huge space over here, right? In the middle of that, they made this just to like shame us. You know, they wanted to block the energy coming from the king. They wanted to block the authority. They wanted to ridicule it, and they wanted to shame us, and they wanted to conquer us. So symbolically, they set up this administrative office in front of the royal palace. Can you imagine that? And it got demolished. Yeah, so this was only demolished in 1995, I think. I don't know. 조선 총독부 철거일 1995. Yeah, on Independence Day. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like young fans in my chat sometimes, and sometimes a lot of people, they're from India, and they say, oh, our Independence Days are the same, and some like Southeast Asian countries as well. And they're like, oh, it's such a big coincidence. How is the Independence Day the same? And I'm not calling them dumb or anything, but maybe it's probably because they're so young and they don't know history. But that's the day the US nuked Japan with Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Yeah, the atomic bomb. And then Japan was like, we're not dealing with this shit. This is devastating. Our whole country's gonna be destroyed. And then they flaked out, and they put up the white flag and retreated from the war, and Korea got its independence. India got its independence. Yeah. So, you can see that in Oppenheimer, the recent movie. Like his mind flow, and every single, what do you call it? 고민. What's 고민 in English? Worries and concerns he had. Has Japan ever paid reparations? Like minuscule amounts. The thing is, it differs from government to government. So one government comes. I think we need to be aligned in this too. Like a lot of people hate Japan because they don't pay actual respect or reparations for the comfort movement, or like the destruction they've done or anything. They don't acknowledge it. They erase it, delete it from their history books and stuff. They don't teach it to their young generation. So I think that is all wrong. But I think our government has a fault too, because the conservative government, who is pro-Japan, they always say, okay, like if you pay this much and if you do this for us, build a monument site or whatever, or just give a formal apology to the comfort movement, or the prime minister or someone in charge does that or this, then I think it's going to be like a respectful deed. And Japan does that for one political party, for one presidential office in Korea. We usually a conservative side, and then the Japanese say, oh, what's done is done. Like we've done all we have to do. And then another party comes into power, which is like more the liberal, and they hate Japan. They're like, that is not proper respect or apology, nor reparation or anything. They need to pay for what they did, and they need to do this and that, blah blah blah. They're still not giving up on Dokdo. They still go to the Yasukuni and what do you call it? Bow to their war hero ancestors, and it's frustrating because on the book, in global terms, they've made a deal with a certain government in Korea, and when the government party changes, then the government says another thing. So yeah, like in Japan's perspective, they're like, we've already done our part. Like, don't bring it up again. Why are you bringing this again? So yeah, as a Korean, of course Japan can never actually compensate for what they've done to our country. But I think the politicians should definitely, think of a better aligned front in dealing with diplomatic issues like that. Yeah. Because the conservative party is always like, we need to think of the future. Japan is our ally right now. We need to go beyond the past. We can't have any improvements in diplomatic relationships if we always bring up these kind of stuff. Until when, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's complicated. Yeah, but it is, I am kind of jealous whenever I see people so triggered about any kind of symbol of Nazism. Like if you see like the swastika, or anybody like doing the Heil Hitler kind of thing, or any form of that kind of stuff is so taboo. You can't even put it out your mouth, right? Or any form of that kind of print is forbidden. It's so widely spread and well known by everybody in the world, right? And the Jews, the Jewish people, get the respect and the protection from the global society in a consensus. But in the case of Japan, what Japan has done to Korea and China and like all the other countries, It's on par with what the Nazis have done. We had gas chambers, we had like human experiments. There's a word called maruta, which is like, they were experimenting medicine and like, you know, all that kind of stuff onto Korean people. And they literally just obliterated our land. They took all the crops and everything, and they killed so many people. And where is our recognition and respect in the global society? Nobody gives a shit if they put up a rising sun flag, right? Even rock bands wear it. And Japan, if you still go to Japan, they still have the rising sun flag everywhere on like um, uh, billboards and stuff. Yeah, so it's kind of sad. They're not teaching it to their younger generations. They have no like memorials. It's kind of frustrating. Yeah. Anyways, okay, I'm done with my pizza, so let's go on to another topic and maybe wrap up the live stream. Since I've been doing this for 2 hours, maybe another 30 minutes, and then call it a day. 이해가 안 되는 분들은 731 검색해보세요. 유태인 수용소 보고 분노하면서 이런 건 왜 관심 없는지. Okay. Yeah, so this is something the Japanese did to us. It's horrible. I think I can't show you on the screen. Yeah, if you're interested, type this 731, and it's horrible. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, Unit 731. Yeah. Anyways, biological weapon testing, chamber testing, disease injections, organ harvesting, amputation, standard weapon testing, kidnapping women and rape, systemic rape. Yeah, Japan has good marketing and PR. Their cultural soft power washed away a lot of their war crimes. Exactly. That is spot on. Dating news. Okay. Let's get out of this stressful realm. Dating news? What kind of news? Oh, how's the war tensions in Korea? Putin visiting North Korea was a big headline. Yeah, it is a big headline. As I told you, like World War III is coming to a reality. War has never ceased in history. There's still ongoing war in Ukraine, in Gaza. So I don't know what people are talking about. That we're living in a peaceful era. Like, we might be eating pizza and doing all that stuff, but somewhere in the world, like, there are bullets flying over and families getting killed. And it's not. And one of the biggest perpetrators right now is Russia, and Russia is talking with North Korea, who's always threatening us with missiles and nukes and all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely plausible that a war actually breaks. Yeah, and I've always said, like, China, Russia, North Korea, this alliance is so dangerous. And if World War III happens, it's going to be the Korean Peninsula or Taiwan. For sure. Geopolitically, this is just the right stage, and it's very scary. So Korea's fame and glitter might all be demolished overnight, honestly. And Putin recently said an attack against North Korea is going to be considered an attack against Russia. That means if we attack North Korea or retaliate or something, then it's declaring war against Russia as well. So I don't know why people are so like lax about the situation. Whenever tell this to my friends or my mom, they're like, "Oh, you're too worried or something, anything." Maybe I am, but I think it's better to be worried and be prepared, and rather than just getting struck out of surprise. Everyone knows how the Korean War started. It started at like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, and nobody was expecting that. It was a surprise attack, and then the Chinese and North Korea just started invading our country. We almost lost our country, and the last standing place was Busan, and then the UN and the U.S. Navy and troops entered through Incheon, and then they dissected the supplies of the Chinese and North Korean army, and then we started pushing back, and then now that's where we have like the 38th parallel right now. So something is definitely going on. I know, right? So it's very scary times, and because far right uh, lean politicians are getting in charge nowadays, and I've heard there's a high possibility that Trump is going to get reelected. There might be war. There might be war. I don't know. So I'm honestly very frightened. Obviously, in my daily life, I don't go about like, oh, there's going to be war. I need to get a bunker or something or anything like that. But just in the concept of it is plausible to happen. Like, it is definitely feasible for those nations. So it has gotten more extreme. I know, right? Yeah, so I honestly think this is all like building up because, as always, I've said capitalism been proving has been proven wrong to some point. It's given us definitely like convenience and nice infrastructure and abundance, but the wealth gap and poverty, the disparity is just becoming too big. The stock market and the inflation and everything is just going hyperbolic, and there's just no measures to put a brake on this, or like so the only feasible option I see in a scenario is war. That's going to be a global reset, in asset wise, or like it's going to be a global what do you call it, renewal of order. Yeah, and there are a lot of countries that complain about the US dominant era right now. And throughout history, it's been proven that empires always fall. Yeah. Genghis Khan and Napoleon and who else? The Roman Empire, Caesar and whatever. And the big civilizations. It's always war. Civilizations, empires, all come and go. Just because it's America, there's no guarantee that it's going to go on forever. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, definitely brewing. We can sense that. I'm just, yeah, people overseas are, looking at it in a more objective light than people in Korea. I think people in Korea are just like too detached from it at this point. They're like, I don't care. I'm like, I would not like taking my chances. So honestly, very honestly, another reason I would like to go live in the States is because it's the safest place in terms of like foreign invasion. Don't think the US will fall in our lifetimes. Yeah, I don't think so either. It's become such a superpower. The military power is just so, unchallenged. Every state combined in war with the US would still win in just terms of military power. But nowadays, because the global economic chain is just so big, if there's a huge, like, I don't know, like in a hypothetical scenario, like if everyone in the whole country, the whole world just boycotts the US and cuts trades with them, and or maybe like Asian countries just suddenly form a union themselves too, and like it becomes China centric, and I don't know, whatever, like anything could happen. And then if they become isolated, the economy is gonna fall, the maintenance fees, the taxes for like sustaining all that military cost, that will be unsustainable. The US already has like $1 trillion worth of debt, and they have bonds all over the world. Who knows what's gonna happen? Yeah. Why do people always care so much about power, money, and properties? Life is short and they are old. They need to think about their families and grandchildren. They're already very rich. I wish I was rich, and I wish I could inherit some. Is inheriting? Yeah, I could. I wish I could. No, inherit is getting. Like I, what is give? I don't know. Give some money or property to my grandchildren or children. Yeah, okay. Go on to the dating. Okay, dating. Any questions? Any questions about dating? Receiving questions. Yeah. If you've been enjoying this live stream, please consider sending a super chat or a PayPal. That will better my day. Thank you to everybody who has already sent one, and for the purchases on Piroso as well. Oh, thank you, A. Ong, for the 6.36 US dollars. Thank you so much. Pizza. And, oh, we got some purchases today, didn't we? Someone bought the Hangul pattern straight mug. Nice choice. Let's see what else you guys bought. Coasters, 2 coasters. Okay, that's good. Oh, and you used the live code. That's nice. KPC 0622. Okay. We'll make sure it gets shipped fast. You have a funny question? Okay. 산뜻한 주제로 갑시다요. 네, 그럽시다. How do you usually meet women? Do I? That's a very funny question. I've used apps before. I've tried them for sure. 소개팅's are big. I've done 소개팅's before. Did I actually meet someone through a 소개팅? Like in a relationship? Yes, I have. Didn't go long though. I definitely don't do like street pickups or anything. That's just not my style, nor that I can pull that off. I think it's mostly like just natural 자만추, cause you just go to events, parties, or just go to like, I don't know, like random business stuff, and you meet people there. And if someone gets close and you exchange Instagrams or Kakao Talk, and you wander outside the business perspective and you start talking about what the latest movie or whatever, you just have a dinner over business, and then you wander off a little bit, and you seem like, oh, this person has similar interests as me, it's interesting to talk to this person, I'd like to know her better, then you go the extra step. So I think it just happens naturally like that for me. I just don't like very artificial approaches, like with the sole intent of I want to date someone. Like that's just like feels too forced to me. And because you both have those expectations, it's bound to get like a little bit. Sometimes it gets very toxic, and sometimes it gets very light as well. So the outcomes aren't very favorable in those scenarios. But what I've seen is like when you get like natural chemistry, natural sparks, That's when it's most sustainable, in my opinion. Yeah. David, you can always marry to get that U.S. citizenship. Yes. Any U.S. citizens? If you go on a date with the girl, how well read is your typical Korean girl in Seoul and their political opinions and takes? What expectations could we have that they would hold the conversation? In political opinions and takes? Honestly, there are three things you should not talk about. I think this is a general rule all around the world. But the first thing is 정치, 종교, and what else? What's the third one? 정치, 종교, 3대 금기. Yeah, what is that? What is the third one? Why isn't anybody explaining it? Ah, is it? Yeah, so apparently I don't know if this is true. I forgot the third one, but we have three things we'd never talk about among friends nor relationships. Okay, so it's religion, politics, and sex/gender. Yeah, these three topics we never talk about. With my close friends and friends that I have checked out, like that are verified that we're on the same frequency in terms of political views and stuff, of course we talk about politics. But if you know that this person is a little bit on the other side, then I would just not engage into politics because it gets uncomfortable really fast. And that applies to dating scenes as well. Yeah, but in general, if the other side, the partner, the girl is not well read, is not very informed about politics and stuff, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I don't care. I think it's a plus if a person knows about like political affairs and society and how it's running, and as a citizen, as a citizen, it's your duty to you have a right to vote, and in order to use that vote rightfully, you need to have some interest in politics and also bettering your country, right? So I think it is a basic duty as a citizen. But at the same time, like if you're just looking for a partner or a relationship or a person that just comforts you, then it's not a necessity, honestly. Like I've seen a lot of people just detached from society by choice because they're just so fed up with it and they feel no hope. I think that's perfectly fine too. And mostly, like, not generalizing again, but mostly people I've met in like the artistic fields, like painters, novelists, not novelists, okay, exclude that, painters, graphic artists, or musicians, or some people like that. They just don't care that much, or they just isolate themselves. All they do in their lives are just like work, like paint or do artwork, and they don't want to get involved in politics. So, and those people have had good compatibility with me in the past as well. So it's not like a decisive factor, I would say. Hunting clubs, yes. I've had my fair share of hunting pubs in the past. So you guys all know what hunting pubs are. It's like pickup bars, and you have to line up like an hour or two to get in as a dude. If you're an attractive girl, you get a free pass. But basically, you go to these pubs, you sit down. There's like this whole system. Nowadays, it's more systematic, I heard. Like, there's like dance time, there's like hunting time, drinking time. So they give you like 30 minutes, 30 minutes. And during the dance time, there's a dance floor. So everyone can go to the club stage and they dance and they like physically become like intimate. They like, booby and all that shit. And then you could take them to your own table, or during the hunting time or the drinking time, you just go around to other tables and like try to flatter them and do jokes and silly stuff and bring them to your table, or you join them at their table, buy them drinks and stuff like that. So Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. Mm. Oh, so he says that he's never met a person with app before. Look, a lot of Koreans are still reluctant to be on apps because it's still a little bit frowned upon. Like people still have the image of like, oh, these apps are only for one night stands, light relationships, casual ones, and people there are only thirsty for sex. And yeah, so there's still that image. They don't want to get that image, so people are just scared to be on it. But I feel like a lot people who have like Western influence, who have like a little bit more open minds, uh, tend to use apps, and I've done it before. I definitely think Tinder has a strong characteristic of like, okay, casual one night stand. I definitely sense that there because like I know the reputation of dudes over there. They just send over FWB ONS and don't even say anything. They're like straight, do you want to come to my house? Do you want to drink? All that kind of stuff. I've heard so many like testimonials from my female friends that the guy quality on Tinder is not good. But Anna actually recommended me Bumble, and she said because the mechanism, I think it's changed. Recently, I saw an article that has changed, but the mechanism was that the girls would select the guys. So usually girls are selective in meeting a guy, so it guarantees a little bit better of a relationship, a start of a relationship. So yeah, Bumble is definitely more positive, but the pool is just way smaller and you won't get a lot of people on Bumble. So that's another con for dating apps. Yeah. What are you looking for, David? An American citizen? A rich six-figure doctor? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. As I said, money doesn't matter. Money doesn't matter for me. I am I am down to provide for my future wife, or I am down to earn together and like grow a future together. So money doesn't really matter as long as the person has a diligent and level-headed mind. Like, she doesn't like overspend, buy luxury bags, and doesn't take care of the baby, and doesn't know how to, you know, um, yeah, do anything or whatever. Yeah, politics on the first date is a big no-no. So there was this funny episode from Danny. He once went out with a girl, and I think they were in a relationship or something, and he literally broke up because of politics related thing. So there was this whole controversy about a guy named Choguk in Korea. He's still a hot potato. He used to be the minister of justice or something, and he was on the left side, and there was a lot of like, controversy about him giving like preferential treatment to his daughter or whatever, and like faking her way into med school and blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. But that was like the huge news of Korea for a while. And Danny went on a date with his, I think it was girlfriend or whatever, or ex-partner. And he just, because he was watching the TV in the restaurant, like he just talked about Choguk. It was like, Choguk이 뭐, like Choguk did this, Choguk did that, and then the girl was like, who's Choguk? And then Danny got turned off so much that he was like, I'm done with you. Like, I can't meet you. You're so dumb. And he ditched the girl. That was so funny. I, I just can't understand that. Like, if the girl just doesn't know Chogo, like, tell her about it. Like, not everybody needs to be super informed about politics, right? But then I told this story to my friends, my other friends too, and then they were like, you know what? That's actually kind of a big red flag, because like even if you don't know politics, if you're not into it, the fact that you don't know Choguk during this time and era is like an American not knowing who Trump is or Biden is. So it's that level. And like a lot of my friends actually agreed that I would ditch the girl too. Yeah. Yeah, that was so funny. But I respect his standards. If he wants like a intellectual conversation about political affairs and all that stuff, yeah, okay. If that's what he wants in a girl and that's not satisfied, then okay. 어, 정치, 종교, 군대 아닌가요? Maybe. I think maybe it's military, but like I just looked up on Wikipedia and it said politics, religion, and gender. I don't know. Military. Why you should not talk about military is because it's simply boring. Girls don't have interest in military stories. Only you are reliving that moment, and only you are excited for that. That's why people say don't talk about military stories at any t- anytime you're meeting a girl. It's like a turn off for them. Yeah. Hey Hilda, thank you for the $2 and the cute Shiba emoji. Thank you so much. Yeah, and you can buy me a coffee here if you like. If you press that link, you can send me coffee. Uh-huh. How many girls have you turned down? What does turned down mean? Like refuse? I have never been approached by a girl first. Never. Maybe it's because not that attractive, or maybe it's because Korea still has that culture of men approaching and doing the first move first. Speed dating, never tried that. I know some my friends who host these kind of events, and yeah, I've seen some videos about it too. Other YouTubers going to speed dating events, but I heard they're not good in quality. Mm. Oh, I'm really way back on the chat. Huh. I wish someday my daughter meets you. She needs guy friends over there. There have been a lot of subscribers who are in the older age, and a lot of them have actually recommended their daughters. Funny thing. Yeah, I've had like a few subscribers suggesting that. Does she have to cook? Cooking is a plus. I can't say anything about cooking because I don't cook as well. So, but it's not about the act of cooking or the service of cooking. I don't care about that, but it's about the money saving for me. So, if we were partners and if we were married, I would learn how to cook, honestly, with my partner together. I would suggest let's learn how to cook because definitely grocery shopping is more cheaper than ordering food, and also it's healthier. You can't order food every single time. It's going to ruin your health. It's going to like pile upon like the bills and stuff. So definitely I think cooking is a big advantage. Yes. Mm-mm-mm. I envy any American who doesn't know who Trump or Biden is. You love military talk? Really? Maybe as a foreigner it's such a unique aspect, but as a Korean, girls are not really interested in that kind of stuff. Uh, would that intimidate you if a woman approached you first? So, if a very attractive woman approaches me, I would think it was human kidnapping. For real. For real. It's to that level. If an attractive person approaches you and asks for your number, I would first be suspicious. Like, no way this is happening. This is something's off. This person's trying to get something out of me. She's a cult member or something. Are you currently dating? No, I am not. Anna exposed this involuntarily on her live stream or vlog. I was like, I always say to Anna, like, my boundaries of going live and exposing my personal life, everything is pretty much okay, but don't go about like my relationships, because I've had bad experiences putting out my relationship status on the internet. Nothing goes well out of that. If you're not really serious, like if you're not engaged or you plan a marriage together or anything, it's never good to put up your relationship status on the internet as a content creator. Yeah. Something happens for either sides, like me or the partner, or one delusional subscriber or someone would get super jealous or whatever, and something is bound to happen. It's just not a smart move. And it gets complicated, super complicated. So if you're like a couple YouTuber, then I would definitely, support putting up your relationship and everything. But even so, like even couple YouTubers break up at some point and it gets very nasty. Most breakups are nasty. And I've seen a lot of couple and married YouTubers breaking up and so much drama. And they feel like they need to explain it because the subscribers demand, like, what's happening? We want to know, like, all that kind of stuff. So it's never good. Stephanie says, I know how to cook. Our restaurant's expensive, very. Not compared to the States. Eating out is relatively cheaper here, but like compared to grocery costs and cooking inside, definitely it's expensive. It's supposed to be like that way, like, there's labor costs there's ingredients, there's service, there's distribution, all that, it's all in the price, so it's bound to be more expensive, right? But I've noticed as a single person, like not in a relationship, but like if you live alone, a lot of my friends do live alone, grocery shopping is sometimes not the good option. Like if you just live by yourself, then just buying outside might be a better economical solution. Yeah, because you need to buy in bulks and you need to have like a good kitchen space and you need to have a good refrigerator to store them and all that. But if you live alone in small spaces and you can't buy like 10 potatoes at once, right? And like a big loaf of meat and all that. So going to kimbap 천국 and eating kimbap or one bowl of udon would be better. Would you date an older woman 5 years older than you? As long as she's attractive and like she's compatible with me, like why not? Anna's drunk live is legendary. Yeah, that night it was wild. Anna put all your business out there. Yeah. And sometimes I get really into like there was this one incident, so I'm not gonna name anybody, but so there was this event I went with Anna together. And then yeah, so how do I put this? So there was a YouTuber I'm friends with, and I hung out with her a few times. And I worked with her business-wise, so I know her well, but Anna didn't know her at that time. And she's heard only stories about her through me over like dinners or whatever. She indirectly knows her through my, stories. And then we went to another event, and there's this other person that we mutually don't know. Like Anna and I both didn't know, but we know that that person is a good friend of the friend I know, right? So, of course, when I was introducing myself and like talking to that person, I would bring up that other person, right? Like I'm a good friend of this person, and I know I've heard stories about you through that person, and like I'm trying to build like a connection, right, with common topics and a common person we know. And then Anna barges in, and she was like, "Oh right, David, didn't you say you dated that person?" And I was like, that's not true. And that got me into a super awkward situation because that gives the false sense of that I might have been saying those kind of things with my friends or something like that. And I was like, no, I never said something like that. But you know how in those situations, however much you try to like excuse yourself or explain yourself, Like once the tea is spilt, like the person already has like a perception that he's just covering up for himself. So I got super, and then Anna totally misunderstood. Like she didn't have any idea what she was talking about. She just wanted to like enter the conversation and like say something about that person, the topic we were talking about. And then yeah, David talked about her a lot, and then I think you dated with her, right? And then I was like, no, 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 no. Anna didn't mean it at all, for sure. She just got mixed up in her head, and I know that there was no malice or spite or any ill intention in that. Of course, but it just got me into hot spot, and I was very uncomfortable. And the friend was like, "That's not true because I know she's dating somebody, and she's not dated you." It's like, yeah, like Anna's just gotten something mixed up, and I was like sweating myself explaining, and you know, yeah. Yeah, so that's why sometimes I restrict even my information, my personal life to Anna, because sometimes she just spills. Like she just forgets, or maybe like a long time elapses and she's like, "Oh, maybe it's good, it's okay to say this." But yeah. Mhm. Is it better to be single than in a relationship? There are perks. There are perks. Okay, but nowadays, I'll be totally honest with you, down to earth. Honestly, dating is expensive and time consuming. Yeah, it is. I'll be totally frank. Especially if you're like you own your own business and you have infinite amount of work you do, like how much input you you put in, and the outcome is just like very, yeah, it's input and output. So more time into your business, more output. That's how it just works. And if you're in a phase where you're accumulating, trying to accumulate it, save up and stuff, then if you go on dates and stuff, because of the cost of, like, if you go to a movie, you freaking spend $50. You know, a movie ticket per person is $15. So yeah, you would spend 30, and then on the popcorn you would spend like $11. That's 44, and then there's parking fees if you take a car there, or you would buy like, I don't know, some kind of other extra $10 if you're out. And that's a movie. Just you're going for a sole movie and you already pay $50. If you eat dinner, it's already like 100. It's just so expensive, and me being a frugal person, it's sometimes too much. And also, not only the money itself, but sometimes okay, like, even though I dearly love the person and I like the person, I like being around her and all that kind of stuff, sometimes I do have to admit, like, once you've been her, like, you've met her in the morning, you go out for lunch, you go on a stroll to the park, and then you watch a movie, and then you hang out at her house, and then you look at the clock and it's like 9 p.m., and then she's like, you know, like, stay 1 or 2 more hours. Then I'm like, I got work to do, right? And I need to go, but I feel like kind of guilty, and I do want to hang out too, but inside you have this double conflicted feeling that I need to go to work. I want to work too. And sometimes, like, dating just takes a lot of time from you, and it sucks a lot of energy as well. So once you're home, you're just too tired to do any work. And I guess it's better for, like, maybe just normal office job workers, because it's like the division between work and just life is just so clear. It's like 6 p.m., you don't have to worry about anything. Just focus on your partner or whatever. But for business owners or content creators or whoever, where work is just all over the place, scattered, and you can grab this and that, and considering my life, having so much things to do, sometimes I'm like, I should cut this date short today and like go work. Yeah. And you might argue that, oh, that means you just don't love her that much. No, like, I've spent more than 12 hours, and I think that's sufficient enough for a day. I think we should call it a day. Yeah. Anna is a true yapper. I think you are handsome, my friend. Thank you, Eclipse. Would you go Dutch on the date bill with the other person or pay for the entire bill? I usually pay for the entire bill, especially on first dates and most of the other dates too. Like, I'm a Busan person in Busan. So most Seoul people are very just comfortable with going Dutch. But people in Busan don't do that. We usually say like, "Oh, I'll pay this time. Next time you pay," or like, "I'll pay for this round. You pay for the next round." I don't know why. It's kind of a toxic masculine culture, but it's I don't know. Like, I don't know why they're like that. We just don't like to see ourselves as petty or anything. Mm. My zodiac sign is this is constellation, right? It's a zodiac sign? Wait, zodiac sign. I'm a Virgo. Is that the same as a zodiac sign? Yeah, I'm a Virgo. Yeah. Exactly. When dating, when you're a business owner, comes with its own lens. Every minute with her on a date or on the phone is a minute taken away from your greater goal. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Entrepreneurship is 24/7. Still trying to find time for relationships, one life. Exactly. So yeah, you guys understand me, and that's why I want to find a partner who's maybe like a entrepreneur or like has a self-owned business and is not really high maintenance. It's like I don't have to text her 24/7 every other hour. Like sometimes just meet during the weekends. Even sometimes just gather and work together. Yeah, but it's hard to find people like that. 음. 오, 상남자다잉. Virgo, yes. Guys, so like I just need to say this. A lot of people say MBTIs are ridiculous, right? While I agree, like you can't categorize people into 16 categories only based on like whether you're introvert, extrovert, and then you're a feeler or like you're realist, imagination driven, like I don't know, all that kind of stuff, and spontaneous and planner. But at least I think it has more categories than a zodiac. And zodiacs are like based on what time of the year you're born in. So basically you're assuming everyone who's born during the time of that year have similar traits. So I don't understand why a lot of Western people take zodiacs so seriously. If you're not taking it seriously and for fun, it's okay. But like some people really take it seriously. Like, oh, I'm a Virgo and I got like a water sign and like blah blah blah. And you're looking at the freaking stars and categorizing yourself into 12 months, like months. And at least MBTI, even if it's kind of like outdated and stuff, it was based on psychology and like human traits. So I'm like, okay, like you can make fun of MBTI as much as you want, but horoscopes and zodiacs, uh, I don't know. Has Anna ever hit on you? No, she's hit me before. MBTI is the same as astrology. Exactly. I just don't understand. It's a dick measuring contest. Blood type. Yeah, blood types are hilarious too. Yeah, but among those, I would say the category wise, MBTI's at least have 16 categories, and they're based on like at least surveys of yourself and human traits. So it would have some kind of accuracy, but zodiacs are just like you were born this time of the year. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll give you since you guys have been tuning in for so long, almost 3 hours. I'll end it at the 3 hour mark. Send some super chats in, please, guys. I heard streamers, what is it? Some streamers solely just maintain their income or their livelihood with only stream donations. That's amazing. That's pretty cool, and also very frustrating at the same time. Like it's not like my model is like I put out videos, YouTube puts ads on it, people watch it, so the advertisers pay YouTube and YouTube pays me monthly. So it's like a salary for me, so in some sense. Like you go to work, you put in some kind of effort, a company called YouTube pays you. So it's not so different as a company worker, like you get rewarded, you get like bonuses if you do extra work and do good stuff, you put out better content. But streamers is like you stream for 3 to 5 hours, it's all totally dependent on the person behind the screen that is watching to donate for the person. And that if that's your main stream of income, like how, like the thought of it itself, it's so volatile, or it's not stable, or it's so fragile, in my opinion. What if the person just decides, what if these people decide not to donate, or like, stuff like that. Like, so I'm like, how do streamers actually believe in themselves and keep going on? Yeah. So Magnolia, thank you for the $10 with the nice doggy emoji. Pizza. Have you seen Africa PJs? Top ones literally make 100K per month. Yeah, that's true. But becoming a top Africa TV streamer is like extremely hard. If you scroll all the way down to like the less popular Africa TV BJs, there are hundreds of streamers with zero audience, or like 10 in the tens of audience. They're not earning anything. So you have to grind and also as a streamer you need to have a unique kind of selling point to grab in people, and also you're trying to make content as well. And I'm just doing this kind of streaming as like a extracurricular thing other than my podcast and my freelance work and all that kind of stuff, and I genuinely just like talking to you. So this is not my main stream of income for sure, but for streamers who it's like where it's like their main stream of income, like that's the thought of that is like I would have so much anxiety if I was a streamer and if I was not a top one. So yeah, that went on a tangent. But what I was about to say is, speaking of KPC, I am going to film. I've already gathered the gang. This is top secret news for only you, the 319 of you still watching throughout this 3-hour live stream. So Anna, Subini, and Kelsey have been summoned, and they will be coming into the studio next Monday, which is in 2 days. And I have already given them out the idea sheets of what topics we're going to talk about on the podcast. So officially, the podcast is resuming in 2 days. It might take a little bit longer to put it out, to publish it, because I'm going on a 2-week business trip to the States. But I'll be working there as well, and I want to like just upload it as fast as possible. So it's coming out, and just to let you know about the topics, where this all came from, the whole the stream of consciousness is like we were talking about MBTI's horoscopes and superstitions, right? So the first episode is going to be, oh no, not the first episode is going to be about plastic surgery. Yeah. It's the go-to topic that everyone has to talk about when it comes to Korea. It's just bothered me so much when I see so many comments about like, there's so many like lighthearted comments about, would you date a Korean man? Would you date a Korean girl? Like, who do you think is the most attractive Asian ethnicity? Like, those kind of interviews, and a lot of people say Korean because like like the Korean stocks are at the highest right now, and I see a lot of salty people in the comments saying, but they're all plastic. Why would you even want to date a plastic face? Like plastic, plastic, plastic. Majority of the comments are all saying plastic. And I will tell you whether that is true or not. I will debunk it, whether it's a fallacy or statistic wise, where that comes from, whether it's healthy to our society, who is actually getting these surgeries, all that stuff, in a thorough podcast with the girls. And I will confront whether they've gotten plastic surgery before or not. So tune in for that. That's going to be the first subject. Definitely going to garner a lot of views. That's why I put it at the first episode of season 1. And then second one is going to be about shamanism and superstition. Yeah. So shamanism and superstition is going to be the second one. I got this recommendation from a subscriber in the Discord chat, I think, but I thought it was a really interesting topic that should be dealt with, especially with the recent cases of Minijin and a lot of references from movies and such. So yeah, that's going to be a fun one. We will dissect the shamanism culture in Korea, why people are so into it, what it has to offer, what are the traits of shamanism, and what kind of superstitions exist in Korea, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a fun one. Fun 2 first episodes. I'm happy that we're finally kicking off. My wall there is complete. I still think it has some minor problems with lighting, but it is what it is. I can't delay it anymore. Like, I'm already paying rent for this place for 3 months. It's been enough. I have 9 months to go with my 12-month lease. So yeah, got to make the most out of it. I've been grinding on live stream in the meantime. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna do the live streams, but like the live streams have been filling in for the episodes in the meantime. Really thankful to you guys, and I thought it was a discovery of a new format of content, and I think it's been successful so far. So anyways, the podcasts are coming in, and also I'm going to make an announcement on the channel. It's going to be a whole renewal. You'll see the logo change. You'll see maybe the channel change, channel name change. And also you'll see format change. So I'm going to do interview videos. I'm going to do vlogs. I'm going to do essays and all of that. But still very centered towards Korean culture. So look forward to that. So my thing is going to be, I'm going to first do the podcast, and then I'm going to do a street interview to get an actual reflection of what Korean people think about that topic, and then upload them back to back so that you can complete the podcast and actually try to validate and verify what we said with the street interviews from normal people. So I think that's going to be a two-way good strategy content-wise. Essays, they're always great. A lot of people during the DKDK days, they always appreciated my research and essays, so I felt like I should bring that back. There's so many like figures or phenomenons or social stuff I could explain with like a 15-minute, a more condensed type of video. Go watch K-pop history explained in 20 minutes video. That one is one of my masterpieces. When I look back into that, like the audio quality is so bad, it's kind of cringe for me, but a lot of people love that. So yeah, 사면이 좀 기대됩니다. 성형 사람이 사귀자면 성형할 줄도 모르면서 사귀면서. Exactly, yeah. I don't understand shamanism. Exciting due to Exuma. Yeah, definitely Exuma is going to be mentioned. I have that in my script. Working hard. Thank you. That's a really good idea. And yep. So that's about it. It's been 3 hours. Thank you so much. And I got a PayPal. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Nicole, for the $10 pizza for the Texas trip fund. Okay, thank you so much. And Christina, thank you for your purchase on Biroso. What? Oh, what did you buy? Oh, wow. You bought two This Is Never That t-shirts. That's a refresh. That's refreshing purchase. Thank you so much. And Soul My Soul, reusable bag, and oh, the coaster from today, yay! Thank you so much. I think you used this, oh, smart, you used the coupon code from the subscription letter. Okay, that's good, that's good. Well, thank you so much for your purchases today on Piroso. Go check it out. Go check this cup out. It's amazing. It changes color. This part turns red when it has cold water inside it. It's very elegant looking. It inspired from the puncheong patterns in Korean, but also looks very Western at the same time. One last look at these Lotus coasters, looking fabulous on your table. Really, really elegant looking. Yeah, stay safe, everybody. Stay cool during these hot days. Thank you, HT. Stay cool in Texas. I heard it's super hot over there. Everyone's just dying in Korea, but I saw comments like, wait till you come to Texas. I'm down for the challenge. I'll probably need a lot of sunscreen, right? Yeah, and I will share my experience with Spirit Airlines. Yep. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And hope you have a great weekend. I will probably be working my ass off the weekend before I go to the States. So much work to do. 고생하셨습니다. 살아서 돌아오세요. Thank you. Be safe on your trip. Yes, thank you so much. Safe travels. Bye bye.